Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. Today is Wednesday. An icy day to start off with. We had freezing rain last night and this morning. But I thought today we'd talk about where to source parts. That's the biggest thing that I find with different shops and everything is where can they get the best deal? Where can you get the best deal to make money? And is the cheapest the best way to go? So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday, January 7th of 2026. So, it's a big question that I get a lot is where is the best place to source parts? And you have to look at a number of different, what's the right word? All right, you can get cheap parts. You can get expensive parts. You can get quality parts, sub-quality parts. It all depends upon what your level of risk wants to be, okay? Now, in the greatest of greats, OEM parts are the best, okay? Hands down. They have good quality control and they stand behind their product, okay? It's most of them, it's like a 6-month warranty on the parts if you buy OEM. But that means that if you're buying OEM, here's the clincher, and this is with the aftermarkets as well, guys, is that if you're looking to get warranted parts, you have to have a reputable dealership, repair shop, business install it. You can't install it yourself. So if you're doing nights and weekends or you're fixing your own stuff, buying OEMs and aftermarkets does not guarantee that they will stand behind that part, because what they're going to tell you is if you don't know what you're doing, you can ruin that part. And it wouldn't be a manufacturer defect. It would be, operator error of putting it in incorrectly. So knowing that there's no guarantee across the board unless you are a shop. Because look, guys, on this channel we have a diverse group from people that are do-it-yourselfers to weekend warriors to shops, and some just tuning in to watch my crazy ass. But if you understand that far of it, if you are not a legit business and you're not a repair shop, any parts that you install are not warranted. So it doesn't matter whether you buy Chinese or you buy OEMs. You're not getting a warranty on any of those parts. The only thing is so we'll start off with the most obvious, where a lot of people are buying parts, and that's eBay, Amazon, Walmart, Sears. I'm on all four, okay? That's probably where the majority of you shop. Now, with me, with selling a lot of those parts online, and that's how I know what they're going to tell you, is that all these OEM companies said, but Eric, if you're not installing that part, we're not going to warranty it. And I'm like, why? And they explained exactly that somebody could put it in incorrectly and ruin it, and it wouldn't be a defect. So what I ended up doing for years was self-insuring. And what is self-insuring? It meant that my customers, I would stand behind it. And if something went wrong with it, it came out of my pocket, not the OEM manufacturers. It came out of my pocket. And you don't see that too much anymore. So you have the Chinese sellers. You have U.S. sellers that are selling the cheap Chinese stuff. You have dealers that are selling off their new old stock. You have some guys in there that are trying to sell after OEM and aftermarket. And what I see with a lot of them is they're what I call newbies and newbie mistakes. And that is they don't figure in eBay commission. They don't figure in the eBay store. They don't figure in the shipping costs. Everybody's got their hands out when you sell on those platforms. You'd be surprised of how much nickel and diamond they'll get you. But that's good for you if that's where you're buying. Now, I'm not going to tell you don't buy Chinese-made carburetors because some of them turn out pretty good. But it's a crapshoot. And why am I saying it's a crapshoot? It's because it's almost like the Chinese have got like these boatloads of carburetors, okay? And they're not moving. But they look like this one over here. So then they'll start substituting that carburetor for the one that you ordered. And it looks similar, but there's differences in it. And they're hoping that you don't notice a difference and you think it's got to be you or the machine. So you junk it and don't bother. Or if you do say something to them, the first thing they're going to want to do is, we'll give you so much off, keep the part. Because they don't want it back, because it costs money to ship it back. The other thing that I've done with the Chinese parts is taken OEM carburetors and rebuilt them using the Chinese carburetors. They're a lot alike. And to get a rebuild kit for, let's say a chainsaw carburetor, if you go with the OEM or aftermarket, you're probably talking 15 up to about $30, okay? But if you buy a Chinese carburetor for $9.95 with free shipping, and it's pretty close, and you need the screen or you need the needle, and they all match up, you just got yourself a quick fix for less money. But what I can tell you about most parts, like with your carburetors and stuff, if you get yourself an ultrasonic cleaner, a lot of times you can bring that carburetor back because it could be just simply dirty. Get it cleaned up. Could be the diaphragm, has got a hole in it. Could be it sat so long that the diaphragm is hard and it's going to take a little while for the gas to soften it up so that it starts to move like it should. There's, what do they say? Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. A lot of times I would clean the carburetor first before I give up on it. And then if I can get good quality rebuild kits or a carburetor similar from China that has a lot of what I need, I'll go that route. But the customer ends up getting the OEM put back on with new parts in it to solve the problem, okay? Now, as you step up, don't be afraid to use aftermarket. Aftermarket companies like Stenz and Rotary have got quality controls in place as well when it comes to, it has to meet a certain standard. And if it doesn't meet that standard, then they're rejected, the whole load. So usually they have somebody from the States, from that company, over in China at that manufacturer, and they're watching the stuff being produced and the quality of it being produced. Does that mean that the aftermarkets are 100%? No, it doesn't. But if you're a shop and you're dealing with Stenz, or you're dealing with Rotary, or you're dealing with the OEM manufacturers, if you are an actual repair shop, and when I say repair shop, tax ID, insurances, and all the other stuff, that if you install it and it's not right, they will replace the part. They won't cover the labor, but they'll replace the part, okay? But where are other places that you can source parts? Let's say you're not a dealer. Let's say you're just somebody trying to fix stuff. Well, don't be afraid of using good used parts. You can find them on eBay. You can also, somebody in your area has got a junkyard right full of lawnmowers that they're hoarding, and they're selling parts off from it. Because a lot of these guys are junkers. They're not looking at what's that motor worth. They're looking at how much weight is in there that I can get paid for, right? So they tend to be a lot cheaper. So if you're looking for a couple parts for an engine, then they'll sell it to you right off the machine, especially like the plastic stuff and the stuff that doesn't bring that much money. The carburetors, they don't bring a lot. The coils, they don't bring a lot. Do I recommend using used coils? Not normally, but if you've got a good engine that's got, like a blown rod through it or something like that, then I wouldn't think twice about snatching the coils if I were trying to fix it for myself or for a customer if I was doing it nights and weekends. But on that note, you want to be 100% transparent to your customer that you're doing it and that you're doing it to save them money, because you can usually charge half of what a new one is and the customer is still happy as long as it works. Where are other places that you can source parts? You can start your own boneyard, and it doesn't take long to get word out that you're willing to take in machines free. That means if you want to donate your rider because it's a scrap pile, we'll put it up back. And every couple of years, I'll have a friend of mine that does scrapping and stuff come in with his excavator and big dump trailers and just start loading it and getting it out of here. But by then, we've stripped a lot of parts off from it. We save our customers a lot of money over the years with going with used over new. And we stand behind the work that we do here at the shop. So if I put something used in it and it fails, then I'll either cover the cost of putting another used one in it or I'll put a new one in it, one or the other. But it's not on the customer. And that's where it's going to get you more work. There's more risk involved. You can charge a little bit more. But if you're doing like engine swaps, if you can give that customer, like a year warranty on it, so that they feel comfortable with it, you can charge more. And like with me, there's an auto mechanic garage that's a few miles away. I went to school with their dad, and they've done one for my Ford F-250 and one for my F-350. One was a gas engine, one was a diesel. And they both got swapped out and a 3-year warranty on a used engine, which is unheard of now. But back then, they gave me a 3-year. And for the one, the gas job, it panned out because it was just under 3 years when that motor put a rod right through the side of it. Cost me $1,200 to get it towed home, but they came good for the engine replacement and the labor involved to do it. So if you can do that with a customer, you can charge more on the front end, and because you're taking a bigger risk. You can hook yourself up with these aftermarket and OEM companies, but you're going to have to be legit. You're going to have a sales tax number. If you're dealing with the manufacturers and stuff of the OEM, I carry a $5 million rider policy for liability. And that policy is there so that if there's something that I work on and a customer gets hurt on it and it's because of what I did, then they're going to come after me, okay? And that's why the manufacturer has us carry a big insurance policy for liability, because they don't want people coming after them. And if you're doing warranty work, this is where it is, because a lot of times you're the last hands on that machine. So you want to make sure that it's safe. That's why we've talked about If you see a safety switch that's not operating the way it should, put it back the way it should. And if the customer wants to disable it again once he gets it home, that's on them, not on you. But to let a machine go and allow that seat switch to have a screw in it, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. Because if that homeowner that had that screw in there, if their kid gets on it and gets hurt, guess who they're coming for? You. So you got eBay, Amazon, Sears, and Walmart. That's where all the major players are that are selling. There's not too many selling OEM parts unless they're new old stock. You got the Chinese that have covered the gauntlet. You can get set up with Stenzer Rotary. It's not a hard process, but you have to be a licensed business. And you also have to have a repair facility. Yeah. So that you can install their parts so that they'll cover it warranty-wise. If you're buying and selling the parts and your customer is doing the install, there's no warranty. And they need to know that too. Unless you're self-insuring or just hoping for the best, right? But you got a lot of them out there, and it doesn't take much to find. Like if you just Google Briggs manufacturer and the distributors, it'll tell you the distributors in your area, and most of them you can go right online and print out their application. If you're looking for credit, you got to fill out a credit app. If not, then just simply the business ID and everything else. And then you have the used parts market. I would do a combo of all of them, and that's what we do. We use eBay. Like yesterday, we took in a John Deere compact tractor. It's a 4200, and it's got a loader and a backhoe on it. And he said he blew the front seals on the front four-wheel drive. And what ended up happening was water got in it and froze, and it swelled, and it did what it was supposed to. There's plugs on the bottom, and it pushed the plugs out. So that's where he drained his oil. But I went on to eBay, and they had OEM John Deere plugs, and they were, I want to say, $17 a piece. And I checked with our local John Deere dealership, and they didn't have them in stock and didn't know how soon it would take to get them in. So I just ordered them on eBay. Somebody's had 3 of them that they were looking to get rid of. And they may be doing the same thing I'm doing, just clearing the shelves of new old stock. Or they bought out a bunch of new old stock and they're selling it. So if you can use a combination of all of them and keep an open mind and try to save your customer money and still show profits on your end, you're going to do just fine. If you're a homeowner, you've got eBay, Amazon are your main 2. You can talk with your local dealers in the area that are buying parts for the repair shop. A lot of the repair shops aren't selling parts. They're just simply doing repairs. So if you come in and you ask for those parts, they're probably not going to sell it to you. They just tell you to bring your machine in and they'll install the parts. Because there is a markup on the parts as well as the labor. So on that note, put in the comments where else you can get some used or new parts for a little bit of nothing that maybe I have missed. Done it for years, and very profitable. But now, not so much. And OEM manufacturers are discontinuing after 3 to 4 years when they're making parts. And the biggest reason is it takes 3 to 4 years for the Chinese to get up and running to reproduce that part. So they know they can't compete with China when the China is what's making their parts in the first place. You guys have a great Wednesday.